Inside of this little box is by far the easiest way to get some good wireless audio with your smartphone. Keep watching to learn more. Hey, what's up guys, Julian from SmartphoneFilmmakingPro.com here, the ultimate online course about smartphone filmmaking. And like I already said in the intro, today we'll take a look at the Comica audio wireless microphone system that just got released today. And I was lucky enough to be one of the beta tester and I got early access to the microphones and I was putting it through its paces for the last couple of weeks, so I can now give you my full insights and my impressions of these microphones. I have already said it in the intro, this is truly by far the easiest way to get some good sounding audio, to get some good sounding wireless audio with your smartphone. And I have quite some experience when it comes to smartphone filmmaking and also when it comes to teaching other people smartphone filmmaking. And the most important thing when it comes to smartphone filmmaking is that things are easy and convenient to use, because you know, it doesn't matter if the quality is maybe like 1% or even 10% better. If the user experience in general is just a horrible to work with, well then people just simply won't use it, and then they will stick with the internal microphone, and then the audio will be bad, and then maybe they are not using lighting, and then the videos are looking bad, and then people think that smartphone filmmaking is just not a thing yet. And Comica Audio kind of disrupted this entire setup because, like I said before, this is by far the easiest way to get some good sounding wireless audio with your smartphone. Inside of the box you get this little case, you also get a carrying pouch and a charging cable, a USB to USB Type-C cable. And this little box, this is where all the magic is inside. And the cool thing about this little box is, on one hand actually it's pretty small, and on the other hand this is a charging case. So you actually have a USB Type-C connection right here, and you can plug in your cable and then you can actually charge the entire case, and with a press of a button you can open it up, and inside of the box you have one receiver, which in my case has a little lightning port that you can plug in directly into your iPhone. And you also have two senders, so this means you can actually record two people talking at the same time just with one receiver. In the past I have tested several different wireless audio systems that work on cameras and also that work on smartphones, and this does also work on cameras. But you know, with the other systems you always had to use an adapter. First of all, you always had to use an adapter, for example from Lightning to 3.5mm headphone jack, or from USB-C to 3.5mm headphone jack. Then you had to plug in a cable from TRS to TRRS, and then you could connect it to your receiver. And you know, these are two adapters and you always had to use the right one, because in case you happen to use a TRS to TRS cable and the difference between those two cables is just one tiny little black ring, well then you would not have any signal and it would not work at all. And you know, with this system, how does it actually work? I'm just gonna demonstrate it right now. You have this receiver, and like I said, there is this little lightning connection, and you just plug it into your smartphone. I'm now using here the iPhone 12 Pro. Just plug it in, it also stays in there no matter what you're doing. And then the next thing that you need to do, you just take out one of the microphones and also one of the senders, and you could be plugging in an external microphone right here. So you could be using a lavalier microphone, for example, or inside of this sender there is also a microphone built in that, I can spoiler here just for a second, sounds really good. And then you can just, you know, plug it onto the clothes or whatever the person is wearing, and then you would already have audio from me, and it would be very close to my mouth, and you would have some really good audio, especially compared to, you know, using the internal microphone of the iPhone. But I will now play you a comparison of what it sounds like with the internal microphone from my iPhone, and then what it sounds like with this guy. Okay, so what you guys can hear right now is coming directly from my iPhone 12 Pro, and it's pretty rainy and miserable and cold outside, and I would say let's switch over to the Comica audio mic. Okay guys, so what you can hear right now is coming from the Comica audio microphone, and they also do deliver a wind protector, so yeah, this is something that I should be using maybe right now. But yeah, as you can hear, overall the sound is just way more focused on my voice. So yeah, as you can hear, the difference is night and day better in my opinion. And the cool thing, like I said before, is that it does not only work with one sender, but it even has two. And You know, I cannot stress enough how cool it is to have this super simple setup process, because this just makes all the difference in my opinion. Like I said at the beginning, when it comes to smartphone filmmaking, the most important thing is that things are easy, because if they are not easy, people won't use it, and then it won't make any sense at all. On the sender itself, you can also turn it off and you can change the volume, so in case your audio is too low or too high, you can change it directly here on the sender. And in case you are shooting more professionally, I would recommend that you use a proper video shooting app, for example like FILMMAKING PRO, because then you have the option to also turn down or turn up your audio levels, and you can also monitor your audio whilst you are recording, and you can actually see the levels in real time. So you can see if your audio is way too high or way too low, and then you can adjust from there on. And in case that's nothing that you're into, in case you want to just use the stock camera app, you also have a tiny little screen here on the receiver, and there you can also roughly see your audio levels in case they are way too high or way too low, so it's really cool. The range of the entire system is meant to be around about 30 meters, so it's not the biggest range, but to be honest, that's also more than enough, because you probably are never going to film a person talking that is further away than 30 meters anyway, but just so that you know. Another thing that I really like is that directly on the case you do also have a little indicator that shows you how much battery the case has left, and as long as the case is charged, your senders and your receiver also always gets charged when you put it into the case. So theoretically, always when you put it out of the case, you should have fully charged senders and a receiver. And before we come to the conclusion of this video, I just wanted to talk very briefly about Smartphone Filmmaking Pro. As you guys probably know, besides this YouTube channel, we also dig far deeper into smartphone filmmaking inside our full Smartphone Filmmaking Pro course. In case you're interested in that, in case you want to up your smartphone video quality to get results that look more like this, you should definitely check out our totally free webinar. It's just the first link below that like button. So in case you're interested, check it out, sign up, and I'll see you in the webinar. But now let's come to the conclusion of this little microphone. And you know, to be honest, I cannot really say any negative about it. One tiny thing that I could maybe complain about a little bit is that they do not deliver a lavalier microphone with this system. You know, other manufacturers do this, and you know, that's just a tiny thing that I would have liked to see, because I'm not the biggest fan of putting a clamp up here on my shirts or on my hoodies. But yeah, that's just a tiny thing. And yeah, other than that, like I said, you know, the ease of use really made this one the go-to mic for my smartphone filmmaking. And yeah, so overall I can highly recommend it.